Next on Worcester News Tonight, a new facility providing state-of-the-art treatments aims to take pressure off of area hospitals. Plus, a local organization is set to strengthen their presence in the central Massachusetts community. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. Still no word tonight if the efforts to save the Notre Dame Day Canadians Church are being heard. Members of the Save Notre Dame Alliance met outside the former church Thursday to hang up signs in support. The group asked the City Council to support a 3-month demolition delay, but say they've not heard back from building owner Hanover Insurance. The former church is expected to be taken down in early to mid-June. Spokesperson Ted Conna says they'll fight until it's destroyed.
For how we live our lives for the next couple of weeks, we go on doing what we need to do to have our own integrity around it. We keep fighting for the building as long as there's hope of saving it.
The group announced an online art contest focusing on Notre Dame and how to repurpose the former church. The deadline is Wednesday, May 30th, and people can submit art on their Facebook page. 2 YMCAs are officially joining forces to strengthen and add more services across central Massachusetts. The joining of the YMCA of Central Massachusetts and the Tri-Community YMCA of Southbridge is more than a year in the making. The Tri-Community Y will become a branch of the YMCA of Central Mass. With the addition, the Y Association will now be able to serve close to 70 communities in South, Central, and North Worcester County.
Provide us an opportunity to work together with an organization that's much larger than our organization. And be able to collaborate more on programs and services to bring to the community.
Building the foundations of community through youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility. That's our promise to the community, to strengthen the foundations through those 3 pillars.
CEO of YMCA Central Massachusetts, Catherine Hunter, says they anticipate a final merger date sometime in the fall. Going to the hospital for a procedure can be a hassle, whether it be navigating the building or dealing with large amounts of people. In Shrewsbury, a new surgical center aims to relieve the stress on central Massachusetts hospitals while providing surgeries to those in need of outpatient care. Our Cam Jandro joins us now live with more. Cam?
Anna, the surgery center opened today after 4 years of development and construction. So now people having outpatient procedures can go to this center rather than always having to go to the big hospitals.
UMass Memorial Healthcare President and CEO Eric Dixon says the area needed updated medical technology. It's why they built the surgery center in Shrewsbury, which opened its doors Thursday.
We built this new state-of-the-art center to keep us up with what is occurring elsewhere in the nation in terms of an ability to do significant cases in an outpatient environment.
The ambulatory surgical center is a collaboration between UMass Memorial Healthcare, Reliant Medical, and Shields. 9 operating rooms are inside, with surgeons from UMass Memorial and Reliant working under its roof.
We provide day surgery, so any case that's less than 23 hours of stay. So orthopedics, plastic surgery that focuses on hand, sports medicine.
The groups expect to serve roughly 10,000 people a year. As of 2017, UMass Memorial Healthcare reports they've seen more than 1 million outpatient visits since their start. Center Administrator Prashanth Bala says the Shrewsbury facility will relieve pressure from area hospitals.
They excel at some of those inpatient, the larger cases, and this is just really a release valve for them to ensure that they're able to provide the higher quality care at their facilities.
The $31 million project begins full-time operations June 4th. The hope is to provide a more convenient experience rather than visiting a full-size hospital.
High quality care. Best for our patients at the lowest cost possible, and best for our providers. And this center solves all of the issues around quadruple aim, which is the goal of healthcare in America.
Now, the center says when they open their doors on June 4th, they'll be hosting a series of trials in order to receive accreditation, but they expect to be fully ready to take patients in July. Anna?
Thanks, Cam. The Massachusetts House of Representatives passes an extreme risk gun bill late Wednesday night. It would allow for the temporary removal of firearms from people who are considered high risk. But with all of the recent school shootings and threats, some lawmakers are worried it may not be enough. Our Chandler Walsh has more.
Area schools are paying more attention to what their students are doing on social media.
With the recent events, everyone has that heightened awareness.
There were possible online threats this week at Quabog Regional High School and Clinton High School. In Clinton, a parent reported the post, allowing the school to take quick action.
We were able to attempt to meet with the student as soon as the student arrived at the building in the morning.
Clinton Police Chief Mark Loverger says reporting troubling social media posts is the key to preventing more serious incidents like school shootings. He says there have been red flags with every incident.
These people just don't keep it all to themselves. They plan these things out. They talk about it with other students, or they rant on social media.
Supporters of a red flag bill or extreme risk protection order say it could prevent school shootings. The bill, which passed in the House, would allow family or police to petition a judge to take guns away from someone who could be a threat to themselves or others. Opponents of the bill say it doesn't address mental health concerns.
Other than taking their guns away, the only thing you're really doing is you're handing them a pamphlet and sending them home.
State Rep Paul Frost says the bill wouldn't prevent school shootings and doesn't solve the problem.
What can we do to help them, and what can we do to get them off the streets possibly, and what can we get to do to prevent them from wanting to hurt and kill other people?
Clinton's Superintendent Stephen Meyer says school safety can be improved if students who post concerning things on social media reach out for help.
Maybe some of the things that they're posting on social media are essentially, cries for help. Because maybe they don't know where else to go.
Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
Despite higher gas prices, this Memorial Day weekend is expected to be one of the busiest traveling holidays in 13 years. According to AAA Northeast, close to 1.9 million New England residents are expected to travel, and 1.7 million of them will be by car. They say the busiest hours are expected to be between 4:30 and 6:30 both Thursday and Friday, and recommend avoid being on the road during those times.
It makes sense to use your favorite real-time traffic and weather apps and tools to gauge the real-time traffic and weather situation before you head out. Obviously, we have a beautiful day for traveling today, but that may not be the case later in the weekend.
AAA says travel times home typically depend on the weather. They also mentioned this is the highest gas prices have been for Memorial Day since 2014. Some are preparing for Memorial Day in different ways. Inmates from the Worcester County House of Corrections spent the day Thursday cleaning one of Worcester's World War I memorials to honor those who lost their lives in war. Rosalind Flaherty has the story.
Philip Economou cleans up around his father's grave at Hope Cemetery.
Beat the Memorial Day rush.
His father served in the military during the Korean War.
He thinks of his days in the military very fondly.
He wasn't the only one preparing for the holiday. Paul Gunnarsson wanted to make the Tatnick Square World War I Memorial look respectful.
People throw their coffee cups out, they throw their scratch tickets out.
Gunnarsson is the president of the Tatnick Neighborhood Association and took over the maintenance of the memorial in the 90s. He reached out to Worcester County Sheriff Lou Evangelitis for help.
We found the inmate crews to get over here immediately and get this cleaned up and beautiful full Memorial Day.
The memorial is dedicated to all the veterans from the Tatnick area, but especially Private Herbert Whitaker, who made the ultimate sacrifice during World War I.
Honoring this private who gave his life, for our country in World War I, and then to keep this monument alive, letting people know that this is who we are as Americans and this is what Memorial Day is all about.
Inmates planted flowers and dug out the weeds. Billy has been in jail for 4 years. He says it gives him purpose.
I've taken a lot from the community, so just to give back a little bit feels good.
Gunnarsson says he is overwhelmed by the support.
This Memorial Day, when the thousands of cars that pass by here every day drive by, once again, as they have for the last 27 years, they'll look at this and go, wow.
And Economou says all veterans should be recognized for their service.
My father was a very, very proud veteran, and he would be happy to see these flags.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
A discussion about the history of women's rights is held tonight at the Worcester Historical Museum, not far from where leaders in the women's suffrage hosted a national convention. Tonight's speaker, Dr. Judith Wellman, is a nationally recognized expert on the 19th abolitionism and women's right activities in upstate New York. Dr. Wellman wrote a book on the Seneca Falls Women's Right Convention in 1848. At it, they adopted a document called the Document of Sentiments, stating all men and women are created equal. She says it was the first of its kind and paved the way for women's rights. A convention later made its way to Worcester.
They couched it as a Declaration of Independence declaration. It really captured the imagination of Americans all across the country and focused people's attention on women's rights. So after that, it really spread around the country. And then 2 years later, there was this one here in Worcester, which was far bigger, 1,000 people, and they said if they'd had more room, they could have had more people coming in.
Dr. Judith Wellman says its influence reached across the country and into Western Europe. The USDA and the Massachusetts Department of Conservation and Recreation say they're making steady progress towards the elimination of a destructive tree pest. The Asian longhorned beetle caused irreversible damage to many hardwood trees. The U.S. Department of Agriculture's Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service is sending people door to door to conduct tree inspections in quarantined areas. They ask you allow officials to access trees on your property. Currently, almost 300 square miles are under quarantine for the beetle in the U.S. 110 of those square miles are in Worcester County, including all of the cities of Worcester. Table Talk pies are making a name for themselves nationally. Table Talk took home 5 first-place blue ribbons at the American Pie Council's National Pie Championships. Their caramel apple, bumbleberry, pecan, pumpkin, and sweet potato 4-inch pies were winners in the commercial division. American Pie Council's executive director says there was an incredible array of competitors this year, and the commercial bakers representing the best of the best in the pie-making industry.